We are used to seeing things from a particular point of view. That is, from a particular frame of reference. And things look different to us under different circumstances.
You look peculiar. You're upside down.
No, I'm not. He's the one that's upside down, isn't he?
Well, let's toss for it.
All right.
Okay. You lose. He's the one that's really upside down. You better come into my frame of reference now.
All right.
Dennis Cosgrove describes the satellite image as something that emphasizes the fragility and vulnerability of a corporeal Earth and responsibility for its care. It can generate apocalyptic anxiety about the end of life on this planet, or warm sentiments of association, community, and attachment. It becomes a universalist, progressive, and mobile discourse in which the image of the globe signifies the potential, if not actual, equality of all locations networked across frictionless space. This presentation will introduce you to the new method of decision-making produced by the Long-Term Communication Division at the heart of London, from kings and queens to the two-party system. And now this, a way to talk with the future. This system is made of people across London with no discrimination of race, gender or age, who come together at the mouth of the River Lee to defend the rights of those to come. A relatively simple system designed to introduce a degree of chaos into a structured environment. Your role as the next generation is to pick up where your predecessors left and continue to meet and decide on our next steps. You will be required to think clearly and compassionately about the problems we face as a community, whether those problems exist in the present or 500 years into the future. Each individual will be assigned a meeting room where they will be able to store all material relevant to their particular topic of risk management. These rooms are designed with time in mind and are not to be mishandled. We now come to the general mechanisms. It is required that you read and comprehend the schedule. The schedule will determine how much time you have to discuss and make a decision. Please be aware that where some meetings may be in session for a singular week, others may be in session for up to a year or longer. The meeting rooms will be assigned accordingly depending on the length of the meeting. You must be prepared to comprehend issues at a scale much larger than is usually discussed. From the micro to the macro, the discussions you have will lead to decisions that will rival those of the central government. Once assigned, these spaces are yours to inhabit, but be aware, much like that of the larger issues at hand, these spaces are also shifting. They will move on with or without you. Gaps will appear and disappear, maybe for 5 minutes, maybe for 5 months. What exists between those gaps are the meetings and myths created by you, participating in a culture able to exist beyond language and technology. Eventually, spaces will meet, providing you with an opportunity to gain an understanding of the wider situation. When assigned to a meeting room, you will also be then assigned to an operational window, which will determine the period of time in which you will be inhabiting. If you are designated a time period somewhere in the future, then you are required to collect a cloak from the cloakroom. You will also be referred to as a relay. The cloaks are required to help you detach yourself from the present, but also to help identify fellow relays. It is a requirement that all cloaks be returned at the end of the day. It is important to understand your role, its history, and its future. This type of gathering is based off 7th generational decision making, originally practiced by many Native American communities. This space and its future evolutions should always be a place for the 7 generations to meet, to expand the scope of the individual. In the event of its destruction, this space is designed to be rediscovered. It will always be a place to talk with the future. As this introduction comes to an end, this process becomes yours. Yours to protect, to evolve, to give to the next. Your engagement is critical to the defense of our longevity. You are a small but critical piece in the creation of this frame of reference.